Hi, Russell. Hi, Victoria. I'm waiting for a moment here because I made another mistake this morning. We'll wait a moment or two and see who else gets over here. A bunch of people are. Hi, everybody. Let's see how many more we get in just a minute, and then we'll begin. Hey, PL. Thanks for coming over. Hey, Jinren. Wanda, good morning. Jake, hi. PL. Oh, I said hi, PL. Yeah, hi again. Yeah, I had the wrong camera on. Crazy. Especially because I had tested it with my other technology. But there you go. All right, we're going to begin again. Peace and thanks for being here this morning, everybody. Good morning, Ariana. Hello, Asta. Good morning, everybody. Peace and thanks for being here this morning. Hey, Ellen. I have a quote for you today from a fellow by the name of Kabir. And Kabir was a distinguished Indian saint, part of the Sat Mat movement, a mystic poet. He lived in the 15th century, and his writings and his thoughts had great influence for maybe 200 or 300 years in Hindus' Bhakti movement, and also among the Sikhs. The Guru Garthna Sahib, which is the sacred book of the Sikhs, has writings of his inside it. Hey, Sheila. So here's the quote, and you know something of this already. We know that the drop merges into the ocean. We know that the drop merges into the ocean, but few know that the ocean merges into the drop. And this is the classic state of union. And so part of the thing that happens in meditation is that you have an act of will. You choose to focus your mind through the power of your own thought to a direction of single mindedness. This is an act of will. And from that act of will, this driving of yourself, there comes this place of that's, we call that recollection. That's recollection, calling yourself back to yourself again. But it takes an act of will. And then what happens is that there's this place of silence. And if you've ever touched into the silence, into the quietude, this beginning of merge happens. It's a space of co-creating. So your act of will merges with the divine in this place of quietude where there's really no effort to it. The effort is just to be. And then your action of being allows the divine to be with you. And there's a little bit of merging, just a little bit of merging. There's co-creating. But then this other thing happens. When you, the drop of water, merge with the ocean in completeness, the ocean also merges with you. And because the ocean is much larger than the drop, you become the ocean. This happens in the classic Christian sense, in the state of contemplation, where self is no longer existent. It happens in the Kundalini awakening, when self is no longer existent. When the I and the identity vanish completely. And instead of any sort of even co-creating action in that quietude, silence place, in that spot we strive for, this other thing happens where the merging is complete, where self is completely gone, and only self with a capital S, your true self, remains. And then there's no distinguishing between the two. That little thin wall is gone. You, the drop, become the ocean, and the ocean becomes you. And it may only happen for a flash in a lifetime, if it happens in a lifetime. Many people reach the place of quietude. Not many reach the place of union. But in this state of union, selfhood is lost and becomes the self with a capital S, becomes the Atman, becomes the Brahma, becomes God itself, the divinization of self. We know that the drop merges into the ocean, but few know that the ocean merges into the drop. This is what the practice is aimed for. And you don't need to achieve this. Okay. So there's this active will that ultimately you end up giving up your will. It's the same thing with Satori, that you have to have the desire for Satori, but in order to reach Satori, but to reach Satori, you can't have the desire. And this is the place where that happens, where the will ceases to exist because the I ceases to exist. The differentiation ceases to exist. And in this place is union. And maybe you'll make it in this life, maybe you won't make it in this life, but it doesn't really all that matter all that much. Because at the moment of death, the I self begins to vanish and the merge begins. You'll see for yourself on the other side. That's my little talk for this morning. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming back over here. I hope that that helps in your journey to know that to begin in your meditation life is an act of will. And then there's this co-creating place where silence happens and you become the quietude, you become the silence, but it's taking your effort and the divine effort. And then there's this third stage where self vanishes and the ocean merges with you and you become the ocean. It might only be a flash. I hope that helps. Hi, Basilia. Good morning, Sheila. All right. So today in our meditative practice, we've been doing this circling breath, right? So breathing into your root chakra. I've been aiming at my root chakra and my third eye, and up to here and down to there, and maybe running this circle. Here's the thing about this Kundalini practice. If you pull in the muscle, you pull in your muscles between. It's like you're. I'm hesitant to say exactly which muscle it is because I don't want to get censored by YouTube. But it's between your hips and your front side and your back side, and you pull all your muscles in tightly as you breathe into your belly. So you let your belly expand and you pull in your muscles and you aim your mind at that muscle inside yourself, way down in your deep of your below your belly button, way down deep. And then you release that on the way up. This doesn't kind of do anything. What it does do is it creates a fire inside. So pull those muscles in, if you can, a little bit when you breathe in, and then release them on your way out and ride it back up to your third eye. Give that a try. It raises your prana. It charges your body. Why don't we go all the way up to the seventh chakra? Because it's difficult. That's the reason why. It's the only reason why. It's because it's difficult. So from here, it's easier to get to here if you've already mastered here. Okay, to get to this spot right there, you might want to focus your mind on your crown, this whole area right here, this area of your skin, because you can't feel your brain, right? So your brain has no nerve endings on the inside. And your bones don't. Well, your bones, they hurt when they break, but it's hard to feel on the inside of them. But you can feel your skin, so you can focus on your crown chakra. This can open on its own. All right, so you can drive this right up, and I do this a lot. I drive this right up through here, and then I pull it right to there. It's just a harder spot. That's all. That's why I haven't been teaching about it. It's not because it shouldn't be opened. It's just a difficult place to get to. And it's much easier to open up the other ones first. That's the only reason why. And if you want to do that, if you're practicing your yoga and you send your energy into your palms, you create your little chi ball. We talk about this all sometimes, with the energy between your palms and how you can send into the mula in your palm. You can use that to help open this. You can use that to help open that too. But you can bring your hands up in your yoga practice up here, and then you focus inside your hands, and you've got this three-way spot now. Instead of just working on one place, you have this palm and the crown of your head to kind of focus the energy. I hope that helps, Sheila. The crown chakra, the seventh chakra, was the seventh is the bottom. This is the number one. What am I talking about? 1, 2, no, I've got it backwards. Dyslexia. Root is number one. 7 is up here. You can ride all the way right up to the crown. It's right for me. Okay, just speaking for me, it's this spot right here. It's that little spot where my skull came together as a baby. You know how you have that little tender spot, and you're not supposed to touch it on babies. You don't touch it on babies because the skull hasn't quite meshed together. It's right in that spot right there for me, right there. So anyway, I hope that helps. Good, glad to hear that. Hey, Kate. Thanks for asking. Hey, Wendy, thanks for coming back, Wendy, and all the people who were over on the other stream a minute ago, and I kind of lost. Hey, we're running out of time here. Let's get this. Let's get this. Maybe a not church topic. Yeah, it's a good idea. That's a good idea. Thanks, Kate. That's a good idea. Um, let's get that clock going. Really try to do this in half an hour. We're going to go for 17 minutes of meditation because it's 13 after the hour. And just to remind you, just to let you know, folks, Russell, who's here this morning, is running a program in Torquay, England on Thursday that I'm going to be speaking at. I'll try to post up some stuff on it today on my Facebook wall, and maybe I can stick something in YouTube too. All right, let's do this. Let's go. Glasses off. Timer set. 17 minutes. Intense. 3 ohms. Pull in with your anus. Pull that right in. Relax. Chant. Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for showing up again, everyone. Hey, Robert, Kate, Wendy, Moshia from Australia, Manusha, I meant to say, Monisha from Australia, Robert and Tim. Peace be with all of you. Namaste. I will see you on Sunday for Not Church. Peace and love, everyone. You're welcome.